On the monthly, basically we can see, really kind of unchanged here. I think I have the extended hours on even. Um, but for, you know, all intents and purposes, it's relatively unchanged, right? We're inside the previous month's range. We, haven't done much. We did come back down probably to the half back, I would imagine. Let's say what's a 53.22. Well, we could just measure it, I guess. Get a rough estimate. So close, I mean, pretty close to 50%. Pretty much right to it, right? So right off of that half back of the previous month's range, right? Like a fucking magic story. Sorry for that word. But I mean, so right off the half back, so real mechanical, but long term mechanical, right? Looks like it's been probably working so far. So kind of an interesting thing there. But as far as reversal goes, right now, like I mean, it's pretty clear to see that if we get back below this low, this current month's low, then there's a good chance that we trade, probably to 22 or even the 05, I would say. Switching over to the weekly, you could see last week was an outside week. So not much change there. We did get that cessation of one time framing just, very marginally. Um, but we got it nonetheless. Oops. Switching over to the daily. So there actually is some change here on the daily, and it's kind of the first change. Is that we did get, for the first time, we can zoom out even, in a while, right? Um, a lower low, right? We remember we had this trend line here as a short term frame trend line. Right, look at all the touches it had. Basically like through here. So we do have kind of that first lower low. Kind of a lower high as well, but this is just one day, so we'd like to actually see like maybe a cluster. But so kind of your first little sign of change. Remember, this is the daily, and we'll look for the weekly and the monthly for confirmation, but just something to pay attention to. And that just lets you know, like, if the market gets back above that 53.05, well, if you're shorting it, good luck, right? Now switching over to the profile and a little bit of a review from Friday. Really just a P shape for the whole day. A little bit move up. We kind of moved up again. Got some single prints, then just back and filled them. So this kind of looks like, to me, right? And remember, this was like a really mechanical low, that buyers have sellers trapped. And not only did they get the laggard longs to get stopped out, but they got to rebuy in the same position. So for today, on the upside at least, you really kind of want to imagine that we have two profiles here, and we want to break it off at this E period. Did that work? No. Still here. And you can see this 45-degree angle that's coming off of this low. And then even if you were to kind of, I guess you could kind of like smash it off of the other profile too. So we kind of see this 45-degree angle, right? It's a little bit, gets a little bit flat, but it's kind of up there. So that's going to be kind of the key today, I think, for it to hold, as far as if the market is going to continue to the upside, right? So well, let's put the settle on there. What was Friday's settle? 52.53. Okay. Um, yeah, so you're going to be looking for it to hold this. That goes back into the previous day's value. Even if we kind of reset this, but we can just leave it like this just to keep the graphical representation. Um, but basically, you're looking at it kind of breaking out. Whoa, too big. That's what she said. Whoa. You're looking at it kind of breaking out over this level or kind of forming this ledge. So that's really what you'd like to see is maybe a check back in here, and then that move towards the cot VPOC. Now I do have to look at the cot because I didn't get a chance to look at it this weekend. Actually, I was kind of busy doing other stuff. Um, but I'm sure it's still a fairly big level, at least into this kind of weak spot, which is 68. So, because that's kind of what I'm looking for. That's actually where my take profits at is 68. And then to the downside, if we break that settle, that overnight, you really just kind of start to target that 44, which was kind of the go no go level from Friday. Um, and that's probably where it would get the break from, I imagine, down to this prior cot, and then down to the lower distribution from Friday, right? Remember, we kind of had a double distribution on Friday. So you had this distribution, this middle part was excess, and then we had an upper distribution. So that's probably where it would go to, I imagine. So you're looking from 44 to 33. So there's 11 little points there. Uh, and then targeting a little bit lower. I like to like the 16. So let's go ahead and actually take a peek at the cot too. Morning device. Morning one. Okay, so here's the cot chart. So the cot BPOC is actually here now, right at 53. Fire cot BPOC's over there. This one might be less important now, but we'll keep it there because we have it as our target. And then the cot low, of course, 5190. Um, so the cot report is for this profile here. Let's see, 327 here. Right, 27 to the second is what it is. This one starts on the third. So just to make sure that we're right. So it's looking like we get some actual smart money getting actually getting nothing, right? Smart money's kind of letting go of some of their long positions. Big cover there. So if we can kind of assume that they probably covered up here, right? Because then we get a B shape underneath, so that liquidation look. Here, I'll just use a box because a box is probably gonna be easier. So they let go of that. You get leveraged funds actually get into a long. Um, so we can probably assume That's probably here, or maybe even up here is possible. Because they're stupid. And then we have short covering, right? Just a little bit of short covering from the smart money side, but a lot of short covering from the leverage side, and that's probably started here, which caused this P shape, right? So basically, what we can kind of assume is that if the market can't get back above this 5309 or back to this 5309 to try to fight for value up there again, then most likely it's going to have to search for value lower. So let me snapshot this real quick. How did it change at the perfect time? Who cares? If it did. But so we can kind of smash these together, right? Because it was an inside profile. So if we smash these two together, that still makes this level right here, which is 90. So that would be the no go level. If the markets can't get above the 90, then you could probably even try to lag into that with some options, because if it can't get over that, can't get back to that 5309 or can't get over the 90, then it's probably going to come back past this 50 towards that previous caught low. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you're managing risk and sticking to your trade plan, and I will see you guys tomorrow.